Hi, this is 5 Minutes Outside with Cael, and I'm here with Dad, and our topic is the archery range and our soccer game last week.
All right, so you didn't do any racing this weekend, but you still spent a lot of time outside, worked a little bit on the archery range. And we're talking about the archery range, the Pinecrest Community Archery Range out behind the Department of Highways garage on Route 119 in Spencer. So just outside of town, and pretty neat archery range. We got 40 3D life-size targets, and it's where we spend a lot of time working on stuff and shooting the targets and spending some time doing upkeep and maintenance. So let's talk a little bit about that first. We have a picture here of the staging area, the warm-up area. Talk a little bit about it.
Well, there's a kid's target with softer rubber from Armacell.
Yep, Armacell donated the rubber matting for this. And you're right, we wanted the kids' arrows to stick, so they didn't just bounce off, so kids could actually see where they were aiming and how good they were shooting. So one of the targets is kids only, just because if an adult shoots, it'll go straight on through it and hit the dirt in the back, which is okay, but they won't see how they shot. So kids' target, and then the other two are adults. Talk a little bit about, I think you helped me put the stakes up in intervals of 5 yards. Starts at
pink,
for the warm-up area. I think it starts at about 15 yards away.
15,
and goes
20,
back to 50 maybe.
40.
Back to 40 or 45. Somewhere in there. So there's little stakes on the side so you can tell how far away you are. And then the number one target is starting over on the trail on the left, right? And I think we have a picture of the number one target. Talk a little bit about that one.
That's a turkey where you have to shoot uphill, but it's really a dip, and then it goes uphill.
Right, so that starts you off a nice gobbler sitting there, and I know you've got a lot of experience at missing that target and
going
them over
into the
weeds.
brush.
And I'm not one to talk, because I think the last time you and I both were looking for our arrows over there, and I think Mom and the girls hit it, but you and I were searching for arrows. So a neat way to start it off, and then we'll go on to the next picture here. This is a little farther in. You go through, this is the wild boar on the back side of the valley. Talk a little bit about, before you get to this target, some of the targets here that are your favorites.
I think the big downhill shot, the
down
mule
through the valley
deer.
in the back. Yep, it's a big old mule deer. That one's challenging.
Yeah, because if you hit the log, it might break.
Oh yeah, if you hit the target, it's a good shot, because it's a really deceiving shot down through that valley.
And if you go behind, you'll hit the creek water.
Right, there's a bank back here, so you don't really lose your arrow. It's just a nice challenging
You just gotta
shot.
see it.
Yep, okay. And this is the wild boar when you come back out of the valley and you start heading back towards the parking lot. And we'll go to the next picture.
That's the standing bear.
Yep, this is one of my favorites. Talk a little bit about this shot.
Well, it's a downhill shot.
Yep.
You have to shoot between two trees, and it goes off the hill.
Yep.
And if you lose it, it's just going down, keep going down the
Yeah,
valley.
you have to walk down the hill a little bit to get your arrow. It goes in the background there, as you can see. I like this one. It's kind of neat because you can almost pretend you're in a tree stand. The bank is pretty steep. We put a rope up to help people climb down that bank when it gets muddy. But it's a steep bank, kind of like shooting out of a tree stand, is what it reminds me of. And the climbing bear is a neat target. It's one of my favorites. We also have a standing bear, which is another fun one. And then we'll go to the last picture of the archery range. This is at the...
That's another mule deer, and it has a big valley in between it. And there's a tree right behind it, which me and Mom have shot and hit the tree.
I think everybody in our families hit that tree. And from what I saw this morning, Zach and I went out there to work on some targets. A lot of people have hit that tree. There's a big tree behind it, which makes it really fun and interesting. And it's a tough shot. That valley's pretty deceiving. So shooting through that valley really challenges you to figure out yardage. I know we always struggle with that one, because if you miss, you hit that tree. If you go low, you hit the tree. You go high, you hit the tree.
If you go to the side, you're lucky.
Yeah, it goes down over the hill. And then we got to go look a long ways.
At least it doesn't break off.
This is true. Okay, you were talking, talk a little bit about the pegs. You've helped us set up the pegs. You've been working on this for the last year and a half, out there every step of the way, helping set this up. Talk a little bit about the pegs we put in.
There's a pink peg for beginners, and then...
I would say children. That was really what we had in mind for children, like ages 4 to maybe 10, roughly.
And then there's 10 to about 15.
Yeah, we kind of said youth, teenager women. So there's a yellow peg, it's green. Green peg with the longer reflective sticks. And then the orange
That's for
Bow hunters.
advanced.
Yep, bow hunters and advanced. And then you got your yellow ones in the back.
Super good.
Yeah, the outlaws. Yeah, pros and outlaws. So there's 4 stakes. We really wanted it to be good for all ages. So someone can bring a youth out there. I know your sisters shoot. They're 7. They shoot it to pink peg, which is right up by the target, so that they have a fair shot at that.
About 10 or 15 yards.
Yeah, they range from 10 to 15. The smaller targets might get up a little closer, but that's about the extent of it. No farther away than 15 yards. And that makes it fun for the children. We wanted it to be a family course with really nice targets. So, and I think we accomplished that goal. And you shoot from we added a peg, a yellow-green one, so that it'll be a little more challenging for a teenager, someone your age, and also for women that are still working towards getting all the way back to the bow hunter peg. The bow hunter peg's pretty challenging. Most of your shots, though, or what would you say your range is when you shoot at that yellow-green peg? Neighborhood, probably no closer than 15 yards.
No.
And then the farthest one, I know your last
45.
pins. I don't think you go all the way out to 45 on the green.
I go to 42.
Which target?
The big downhill one.
That's because you choose to shoot up there, but the yellow one's down at the bottom of the valley. So 25, 30 yards is probably the longest shot you make at that peg. And then you like to fling arrows and back up a little bit farther. So it gets crazy, and we chase a lot of arrows. But we have a good time. So a good family fun event, an activity to do, gets everybody outside. We have a lot of fun. What's your favorite target there, you think, that valley shot?
Yeah.
Okay, we got a lot of neat targets. Name some of the other targets that are pretty unique.
There's a alligator.
Yeah, the alligator's pretty cool.
And then there's some hedgehog or groundhogs.
Yep, a couple groundhogs, a raccoon,
A
woodchuck.
mountain lion.
The mountain lion's really cool. That's right before the big mule deer in the valley. That's a pretty neat one to see. The big
The
white
mountain
ones,
goat.
the mountain goat doll sheep deal. That's a really big target. And that's kind of a neat uphill shot. And the wolf is back in that area too, in the
There's
fallen
a big
trees.
tree down.
Several turkeys, some mule deer, some regular deer.
Some bobcat.
Yeah, a couple bobcats, a fallow deer. So a lot of different animals. We got 40 different targets. And the best part about it is the community businesses sponsored those targets, which makes it great. And all we ask is a $5 donation from each shooter if they choose to donate money, and then that money gets put back into the archery range. So it'll be there for a long time. Okay, let's shift gears. You played your first soccer game this Thursday over in Ripley with our Patch traveling soccer team. Let's go to those pictures and talk a little bit about that. Tell us what's going on here.
This is the U8 team
Yep.
with Coach Slater and Coach Chris.
Okay, and the players on there, we should have
Maddox,
Yep.
Katie Cael,
Sawyer,
and
Peyton.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was
and
our,
Gracie.
and Gracie Hughes. Yep. So that's a good group of kids to take over. I think they won 3-1, which was fine. It was a great game. We go over there for fun and sportsmanship. So they had a good time. Go ahead and go to the next photo there. We're looking at a little bit of action here, and our guys kept it down into the other team's goal area quite a bit.
Yeah, there's Katie, Peyton, Sawyer, and Maddox.
Yep. And then the next photo, some more action shots.
Katie jumping up and down when they made a goal.
Well, I think that's a throw-in picture. Yep, she's throwing the ball in, and Callie's standing there, and Maddox is getting ready to get it. So working on different skills over there. When we went to Ripley, we're playing by the rules that we worked on here and reinforcing those rules, doing throw-ins, doing corner kicks. In the next photo, this is Coach Chris and Coach Slater giving them a water break and a little bit of a pep talk, and I see you photobombed my photo. You were my water boy and bringing water over and snuck into that picture, and it looks like the little gentleman from Ripley in the background was trying to sneak into our huddle. He might have wanted a drink, I'm not sure. But, overall a great experience for those younger players. It's good to go play someone else. And our U8 team did a really good job, and the coaches, Coach Slater and Coach Barbie, did fantastic. Okay, our last picture there. Tell us a little bit about this. This is the older team.
This is a U12 team.
And that's the team game you played in.
Yeah, we
Talk
were
a little bit
against
about
12
that.
and 13-year-olds. Well, my friend was the goalie, Connor Lawrence.
Connor Lawrence, yep. You got to play with your friend on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about the kids from here, from our Patch program.
Well, there was Aubriana Young, Kenya,
Stanley.
and
Yep, so you got a pretty good group. Lillian,
Zane, Abigail,
Yep.
Zach.
Yep, Zach Taylor. Katie and Carter gone.
Kelton.
Yep, Kelton Andres. So you got a really good group of kids there. It's taken some of our kids that play in our league that we split up on different teams and putting you guys all together. What do you think of the whole experience?
Well, it was hard, but you learned from it.
Okay, why was it hard?
Because they were better players. They play the whole year inside and outside.
Yep. Well, and I think it's a little bit of adjustment. We had trouble with the field size. It was a really big field you guys played on, and you played 4 12-minute quarters. That's longer than most of your games. And I think they've been working together as a team longer. You guys have had 3 practices. Today will be your 4th practice overall. So, what do you look forward to tonight? You have practice. What do you think about this coming Thursday's game? What do you think you need to work on a little bit?
Goalie.
Okay.
And then splitting up.
What do you mean by that?
Spreading out so we don't get fighting over the ball.
Yep, not as much bunching up and chasing the ball down together. Okay, so overall, good experience. What do you think?
Well, it was fun.
Yeah, you had a good time with your friends. I know after the game, I think Ripley beat you by a couple goals, 5-3, 5-2. And but you guys all come off the field smiling and happy and having a great time, and it was pretty cool to see your friend Connor Lawrence, get to talk to him and his sister Caitlin. So overall, everybody seemed extremely happy. So you're looking forward to this Thursday, going back over and playing some new kids?
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. And what are you going to work on this week?
Goalie and splitting up.
Splitting up. All right. Sounds great. So you've had a busy week, staying active, staying outside. What do you think? What do you got coming up this week?
A hill climb.
Yeah, soccer.
Pioneer hill climb.
Soccer practice, soccer game, and then you got a big 2-day hill climb coming up this weekend. So next week we'll have some more stuff to talk about.
Yep.
All right. You can finish up and end this show. And
well, thanks for watching us, and we'll see you next time. Sponsored by A&M Digital Technologies.
A&M Digital Technologies, always taking care of us and changing our shows over to podcasts, recording, doing the producing. Joe and Cena McDonald with A&M Digital Technologies, a local Roane County business helping out our community. So check them out online, and we'll be back next Tuesday with a new show, Cael Outside, for 5 minutes. All right, see you next Tuesday.